I regret getting my spinal fusion? So guys, I am so grateful as always for all of your support. Your love is just astounding to me. It is really something special. Okay, it's been a couple weeks since the car accident, and I'm still in a lot of pain. Actually, my neck is very swollen on the side. Fingers crossed that it's nothing that will be permanent, but it's pretty painful, and I can feel it in the middle of my back. And then, of course, I have my lower lumbar issues from the spinal fusion. And the car accident has caused a lot of pain in my hips. So that's not fun. My hips kind of lock up now quite a bit, especially like when I'm sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night in a lot of pain. And of course, as most of you know, I do heavily rely on Kratom as my main source of pain management. And I made a video recently about pain management. You can check that out over here. But again, I have said many times that Red Bali by Kingdom Kratom is one of my favorites, one of my main go-tos. And it really does help alleviate a lot of pain, especially in the middle of the night. But today I want to talk about another question that I get asked very frequently. And I mean, let's say every few days to a couple times a week. And that is, do I regret getting my spinal fusion? Do I regret having a spinal fusion? That's a good question. And the answer is actually, it's quite tricky because it's so individual. My answer is not going to be your answer. And I don't know what's best for you, but let's look at it this way. As I've mentioned in a previous video, I've said that I do strongly believe that a spinal fusion should be your last resort. Getting cut open should be your last resort. So there's a checklist of things that I want you to ask yourself before you even entertain a spinal fusion. Now, that's not to say that you can't go and meet doctors and entertain surgeons and kind of vet surgeons, okay? Go out and vet different surgeons if a spinal fusion has been suggested to you, okay? Or if surgery has been suggested to you. Meet different surgeons because they'll answer some of your questions as well, especially the question of what is my recovery going to be like and what can I expect afterwards? Now, I waited 18 years for my spinal fusion. I put it off, and I can't exactly tell you that I think that was a good idea anymore. Because I thought that the longer I put off getting cut open, the better off I'd be. But in reality, as you can see from my scar, even though I have a single level fusion, my scar is very long. I mean, it's about 7 inches long. And that's because of the extensive nerve damage that I had. It's from my vertebrae rubbing against each other, chipping off pieces of bone, and just floating around my back and getting embedded in my nerves. And especially because of the nature of my work, okay? You know, I owned a few companies, a tree and landscape service where I was a climbing arborist, a construction company where I swung a sledgehammer. Did I have to? No. Did I want to? Yes. I love to work. I've been flipping houses since I was 19. That was a main source of my income over the years. I've built my income by flipping my way up the property ladder, okay? And by the way, guys and gals, many of you have also asked me to talk about flipping houses. So leave a comment in the comment section and let me know if that's something that interests you. If you want to learn about how I climbed the real estate ladder, how I got into flipping, how I succeeded in flipping, how I did well, etc., I'd love to tell you all about that, okay? But I love to work. I was raised to work. I love being strong. I love being capable. I love being able to do anything. Okay, that's how I was raised. I was raised around men who could do anything. I didn't have a stable home life for years. My parents divorced when I was 1. But I was raised around other men who could do anything and who taught me to do so much. And one of those men was my grandfather, and he was a builder, and he was an amazing man. And he also helped raise me, and he influenced me in many ways. So I loved to work. I loved what I did. I loved climbing trees. I loved being an arborist. I loved hauling logs. I loved every part of it. And I didn't want to stop. I also worked out every day. You know, at least 5 days a week, I was in the gym training, and I train hard. I don't just go in there and do some sets, do some exercises, do some machines. I go in there and I train hard because I've been bodybuilding for 27 years, and that's also a huge part of my life. Man, it's it's almost silly, like making a video where I can hardly move my neck. Sorry, guys. So I should have stopped. Okay, I should have become an office manager. I should have just run my companies and let everybody else do the labor. And I guess some of it's also pride. I insist on things being done the right way, okay? The best way. And I'm very specific and particular about the jobs that my companies produce, okay? And if something's not getting done right or the way that I need it to be done, or in the right amount of time, then I just jump in and do it myself. Or I did. And at the same time, I'm coaching bodybuilders. And so the lifestyle that I led was hard for my back. But that's what I knew. You know, that's what I did well. And that's what I signed up to do. And especially having 6 kids to provide for, I wanted them to have the best life. I grew up poor when I was younger, and I never wanted my kids to be poor. So I worked my ass off to give them a life that I could be proud of for them, that I knew would help them be successful. And they will be. Absolutely. But I could have gone a different route. And I should have. So that leads me to the question I'm going to ask you. What are the things in your life that you could or should change before getting surgery? Okay? Have you done your due diligence to change the things in your life that are affecting your back or your health or your neck or your legs or your arms or whatever it is, whatever the issue is that you are faced with? Have you taken the steps, all the steps, that you could take for that part of your body to maintain its health? Okay? There are things that I know you got to change. I never wanted to stop getting on the ground and wrestling with my sons. I never wanted to stop getting in my daughter's crib and reading books to them. I never wanted to stop doing those things for my kids. And I mean, I did have to stop for a while because I just couldn't do it. But there's so many things that I want you to try, okay? I want you to try meditation and yoga. Because believe it or not, the mind-muscle connection is very real, okay? The more you are in tune with your body, the more you are in tune with your muscles, the more adapt your mind becomes to listening to your body, okay? To hearing your body tell you messages. So then you have to learn to listen and do it, okay? That's the other thing. You have to listen to your body say, take a day on the heating pad, or take a day on the ice pack, or take a day off work, or take a day out of the gym. You've got to listen to your body, okay? Are you stretching every day? Stretching is huge to loosen up the muscles in your body. Because once you have an area in your body that has become injured and starts to degenerate in one way or another, the other parts of your body now compensate, okay? So then you're going to be harming other parts of your body. Listen to the part that's hurting. Do what you need to do for that part. until it feels better. And I understand that sometimes that means masking the problem, because how many of us can take a day off of work whenever we want? We're in so much pain every day. This is chronic pain, and this is agonizing pain. I remember when my sciatic would act up and I still had to climb a tree, I took anything I had to take to mask the pain to go do my tree job. Because sometimes that tree job paid me $1,000 a day in profit. Sometimes it paid me more. Sometimes it paid me $5,000 in a day of profit. I couldn't not take that job. I needed that job. I needed to keep everybody working. I needed to keep my kids fed and my companies running. But masking the pain and masking the problems is not good. And I know I don't have to tell you that. You already know that. But I know that sometimes we have to do that, okay? So the next question I have for you is, what is your diet like? Is your diet full of inflammatory foods? Are you loading up on starchy carbs? Are you eating enough vegetables and fruit? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you doing the things that keep your body running properly and healthy? My gosh, the whole time my cross is up here. Jeez. Why didn't anybody tell me? So there's just so much that can be done, should be done, before we entertain surgery. As I've said before, surgery should be your last resort because you can't go back, right? Once you're cut open, there's no going back. So sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have a little regret. And I don't want any of you to make the same mistake. When you need surgery, you'll know. Listen to your body, listen to your gut, okay? Listen to your brain, listen to the spirit, listen to the vibe. Get in tune with your body. And it'll tell you when it's time for surgery. And until then, do everything you can to avoid surgery. So I guess the simple answer to the question I'm always asked, do I regret having spinal fusion, is sometimes. Sometimes I do. Because it's changed my life forever. And I'll never go back. And the quality of my life is different. And I'm in much more pain in my leg every day because of the nerve damage. But I needed a spinal fusion to clear out the chips of bone between my vertebrae because that pain was agonizing. I could feel that pain all day, every day. Even when it was masked with a lot, I still felt that pain. So I needed him to go in there, clear out all those chips of bone, and fuse me together. But I should have stopped before those chips of bone even occurred. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching again. Give me some more ideas in the comment section of videos you'd like to see. I want to hit on all the topics that interest you the most and that will help you guys the most. And until then, I am praying for each and every one of you. I'm so grateful for all of you. And let's continue to heal together. All right, thanks for watching.